I couldn't be fat and picky. Yeah, because I was worried of my chunky thighs. I would also never be seen walking around with food in my hand. Hey guys, it's Jermaine and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time on my channel, I just want to say welcome. My name is Jermaine. I make videos about the fat acceptance, fat liberation, body positive movement. I share with you guys my thoughts in this community and also how they influenced my life back when I was extremely obese. I was somewhat influenced by a lot of the things that they talk about, a lot of the things that they say, and then along the way I had an epiphany. I changed my life. I became normal. I came to the good side, and now I'm here making videos exposing this deadly community. So if you're into those kind of videos, you'd like to hear my take on stuff, then you might want to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell because I upload new videos at least once a week. And if you're returning to my channel, I just want to say welcome back. Thank you for clicking on this video. Thank you for being a part of my little family here on YouTube. I love you guys and appreciate you so much. Today's video is more so me sharing with you guys my personal story as someone who was obese and just some of the, I want to say, kind of toxic mindset that I had. On my channel, we've always been talking about fat acceptance and how confident and how they believe that you should be proud of being fat, and you should be proud of all your visceral fat, and you should shake it and show people, and that's just embracing your fatness, and that is a good thing, which we all know I don't agree with. I'm pretty sure a lot of you who watch my videos don't agree with. But then again, then there's the other side, which was the other extreme. Me, myself, as an obese person, there were some things that I would never do, and it was to the extreme opposite of being like extremely proud and showcasing and shaking your visceral fat on camera. It was the extreme opposite of that, and that is to hide and don't let people see you and just be as hidden as possible. I feel like during my obese days, it was just very fluid. I was not one type of fat person. One side, I was the kind of fat person who made fun of myself and made myself the butt of the joke because I already know people were laughing at me, so like, why not just make fun of yourself as well?
What's your name? Fat Amy. You call yourself Fat Amy? Yeah, so twig bitches like you don't do it behind my back.
And then there was a side of me that also believed that I didn't choose to be fat. It was genetics that made me fat. I didn't know why I was fat, but it had nothing to do with what I was doing to myself. So I felt like I was kind of the victim, and that's where fat acceptance fell into place for me, because fat acceptance made me feel like I didn't need to change. I was fine just the way I was, and it was other people that had a problem, and other people needed to change, and doctors were being prejudiced. I had that part of me, just being angry at the world for not seeing someone my size as attractive, or just being like angry at guys that I liked who didn't like me back, or would prefer my sister who was slim over me, and just all of these things made me feel like society is really toxic and society is so shallow, and they needed to get on board with the fact that this can also be perceived as beautiful, even though I didn't believe it. So during this time where I didn't believe that I was beautiful, despite me having expectations of people to see that, there were a bunch of things that I would never ever do or never be caught doing, or as much as possible I would try to avoid having to be in those situations. And I thought I would make a video and share with you guys what those situations are. If you're fat out there, if you're obese, or you've been obese and you know what I'm talking about, let me know in the comments below if you can relate to any of the things that I'm saying in this video, or if you know of someone who was in this situation, or if you know someone who is in this situation or who used to be in this situation. Let me know. I want to hear. I don't think I'm the only person who was like this. I feel like there are more people. What inspired this video was I was on a train like 2 days ago, and if you didn't know, Malaysia, we don't have that many like morbidly obese people. We have fat people, we do have obese people here and there. We don't have people that big. Like, it's not often. We do, but it's not often that you would see somebody that big. However, this one day that I was on the train and I was coming back home, a lady walked into the train and she was really, really big, okay? Like 400 pounds, I want to say. And it wasn't the fact that she was big that made me notice her. It was the fact that she was big and she was carrying a box of donuts. Now, are the donuts for her? I don't know. Are the donuts for somebody? Maybe like she's going to visit a family member with kids or something. Or if it's like a potluck thing and she's bringing that to visit friends. I don't know. But just the fact that she looked like she was 400 pounds carrying a box of donuts, she definitely caught my attention. Immediately I was like, wow, that is something that I would never be caught doing when I weighed like 270 pounds. And that got me thinking that I really wanted to make a video and share with you guys. By the way, I'm so sorry if this is so distracting. This braids has been in for a while now. I need to take it out and all my hair is coming out. So just try to ignore it. Now I'm concerned that you guys didn't even notice it, and now I draw your attention there. Okay, let's just put this behind. There we go. Okay. Anyway, as I was saying, when I saw this lady with her donuts, I was immediately like, oh wow, this is something that I would never be caught doing. And it made me think about all the things that I was very insecure of and I would never be seen doing, or at least I would try to avoid being seen doing back when I weighed like 270 pounds. The first one is buying fast food. Through all my stories that I've shared on this channel of what it was like for me as a fat person, what I used to eat, what I did that made me fat, one of the big things was McDonald's. I was a huge McDonald's addict. Like, I would eat McDonald's like maybe 4 times a week, and it would always be for dinner when I was coming home from work because I was so stressed and I needed McDonald's. But I would never be seen walking into McDonald's by myself unless I was with a group of people and we were all going and we were all ordering together. I myself, Jermaine, wouldn't walk through the doors of McDonald's even if I was buying it for someone else. I was a strictly drive-through kind of girl. Walking through McDonald's, going up to the employee at the counter, telling them all the fat foods that I want to order. No, I couldn't do that. That was too much for me. I would only do that if I was like with my friends, if I was with like a group of other people, then I would do it. But if I was alone, yeah, no, I would never do that. I would also never be seen walking around with food in my hand. Unless the food was like healthy. I was holding bananas or apples. Oh yeah, sure. Any day, give it to me, I'll carry it for you. But to be seen holding like food, like rice type of things or like fast food or donuts or whatever it is, like I would never be seen holding food in my hand because it's not a good look. That action would tell people that I'm fat because of all the stuff in my hand. And it could even be someone else's food. It could even be like food that I was carrying for my family. But just the fact that I had to hold it and I was walking with it, everybody's going to know that I'm fat because I ate whatever that's in that bag. And if I'm holding like more than one packet, people are going to think that all that packet is for me. I'm going to sit in one sitting and eat it all. And that really terrified me. I didn't want to be viewed that way. Like as if it wasn't already obvious that I was big and I was probably eating like a lot of food to be that big. The lady in the train, she was really big, but you wouldn't think about donuts and her together until she's there carrying donuts in her hand. You know what I mean? I feel like this level of insecurity as a fat person is a bit toxic. And I feel like this is why fat acceptance constantly try to push like, oh, you know, fat people can eat too, blah, 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 whatever. But then there's a limit to it as well. Both extremes are not okay. You shouldn't be too proud about eating tons of cheeseburgers. Like, that is not even something that's healthy. Why you want to be proud as a fat person showing people how much of unhealthy foods you eat? But at the same time, you cannot be so insecure that you're panicking about holding food in general. Like, that's ridiculous. I also never liked walking into regular size stores in Malaysia. We have this mall where I was growing up because they carry like all these like Coach and your Chanel's, Charles and Keith and all these things. Now these brands are pretty expensive in Malaysia. Usually if you're young and you don't have money, you don't go and shop there. You go there to just look at stuff. But you usually shop in this area that we call Asian Avenue. Now, Asian Avenue is a part of the mall where everything there's like really cheap, really affordable, and also really Asian size. I think the bigger size they would carry in most of the stores there would be an L, and the L would be like my sister's size, and my sister is an S on the top. She doesn't even have boobs, and her size would be an L in Asian Avenue or an M when she's an S. So can you imagine me, like what would I be doing there? So usually when I go there with my sister or my friends, they would go to the stores and then I would pretend as if I'm looking for something else. So I wouldn't even walk into the store because I'm so afraid people are going to start judging me as soon as I walk into the store. So I would just go and look at like some fake lashes or go and look at some bags at some other store next door. I would wait outside so it doesn't look like I even think that I have a shot shopping in there. I've lost more than 80 pounds and I still cannot shop there, let's be real. But then I think now I'm just more confident in myself that like I don't think about that too much. Also because I'm doing something good for myself. Like I care about myself more than I did before. I don't really care what people think about me. I'm not there to prove anything to anybody. I'm more sure of myself, and so it doesn't bother me that much. But at that time, Number 4, you would never see me at any theme park. Ask anybody I know. After the age of I think like 19, 20, I never went to a theme park because I'm not even gonna try to sit on rides. I'm not even gonna try to be there and then wait for someone to tell me, no, you cannot ride this ride. I just rather not. I was worried about 2 things. That I wouldn't fit on rides, because that has happened to me before where I got told that no, this you cannot. So after that fear, I wouldn't even dare do it. So I wouldn't even bother going because of the fear of not being able to fit on rides, or being able to fit on rides, but because I'm so heavy, there is a high chance that I could fall off the ride, or the seatbelt won't be able to hold me back. I was just too scared about things like that. So I would never be seen at a theme park. I would also not wear shorts. Like when you're going to like the beach and stuff, I would wear pants that were like maybe knee length at most, but I wouldn't wear anything shorter than knee length. Yeah, because I was worried of my chunky thighs. I always felt that I looked like an elephant because my legs were so big. It looked almost odd shaped. It would kind of look a bit distorted or odd shaped because of all the fats, and I would never want to be seen with shorts. So I wouldn't really wear shorts like ever. I would wear maybe knee length. Would you consider knee length pants shorts? Okay, maybe that's kind of short, but not proper shorts that you would wear to the beach. Not shorts like this. I would never wear shorts like this. I also would never be caught partying. I do not party. I do not mingle with peoples of any types. I would only stick to the people that I know, and mostly like stay indoors. Let's just do indoor stuff. The only time I would feel comfortable was when I would be singing on stage. I loved singing, so anytime there was an opportunity for me to sing on stage, that's the only time I would for a second just remember that I'm more than just my body size, and so I would feel like very free to be on stage and stuff like that. But going to parties, mingling with people, no, I only started doing that when I was on a weight loss journey. When I was on a weight loss journey, I think even when I lost like maybe about 10 kg, I was already so confident. I started feeling more comfortable and confident to go and talk to people and mingle with people and go to parties, things like that. Even though I was still obese, I think just caring for myself, losing a little bit more weight, all of that made me feel more confident. And then I was out and about, going here and going there. I always said that I'm an introvert. I always pretended to be this very introverted person who doesn't like people, when that actually is not true. Guys, I am such an extrovert. Anytime there's an opportunity to go out, I'm always like, yes, I want to go out. No matter how tired I am, no matter how much I need to rest, I love going out. I love meeting new people. I'm such an extrovert, but I thought I wasn't because of my insecurity. Also, I never did buffets. Some of the things that Emmeline Reid does, like, I'm just so amazed at her confidence, because firstly, to go out to places like buffets and eat a lot of food is one thing, but then to also film yourself doing it, like, you have to have next level confidence. And I know Emmeline Reid is not a fat acceptance person, so for her to be so confident to do that, it's really something. I would never go to a buffet. If I did go to buffets, I'd always ask my mom or someone else to be the one to go and pick food out and then bring it to the table, or I would go with people. I wouldn't dare to go by myself. I would go with people, and I would take like tiny bits of foods, because I eat like a dainty princess. I don't really eat much. I'm fat because of genetics, not because of the things I put in my mouth. And then I would get like my mom or my sister to get me other things that I really want. They just played along. They did all of these things for me, which is so sweet. The fear of filling my plate with food and then having to walk back to my table with all that things on my plate, no, that was a lot. I cannot. That's such a fat person thing to do. I didn't have the strength to do something like that. And then there's going to the pool in broad daylight. No thank you. There is no way people are going to, as it is, I'm so big, you may put on something really tight and amplify just all my stomach and my thighs and my butt even more in broad daylight for people to see. And I loved swimming. I would only go swimming either if it's at nighttime or if there wasn't many people at the swimming pool area. If there were a lot of people, then no. This is so embarrassing. I just never could find swimsuit my size, and I remember I just had one pair, and it was the only pair that I used anytime we needed to go swimming. And guys, that pair I wore for so many years, and it started to like tear, and I would just sew it and reuse it and tie here and tie there. Like, the swimsuit needed to go, and I couldn't. That was the only swimsuit I had, and it wasn't easy for me to find swimsuit my size until I think it was like many years later when my mom helped me to find a place that sold a swimsuit my size, and there was like only 3 or 4 options. So I just had to pick one. I couldn't be fat and picky. And so I would always wear tights, either long legging tights or knee length tights, or like the capri pants kind of tights, and then my swimsuit on top of it. Being obese was so exhausting for me, not just because I was carrying all that weight, and not just because my back hurt and my knees hurt and all the suffering things I was already putting my body through physically. It was so exhausting because of mental stuff, like just mentally feeling so ashamed of myself, not knowing why I was fat and believing that it had nothing to do with me. I was just big because of genetics, and nobody could help me. I couldn't figure out why I was fat, and then just constantly battling and trying to do something that would fix my problem quickly, but then there was no such thing. I would try and fail all the different soup diets, and I used to buy those like belt thing that you put on your stomach and then it would like heat up. You connect it to like electricity. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. It was like this sauna solution thing. I used to see this advertisement all the time, and I had like a similar version of it. I would just try to do all these things. Somebody told my mom about some pants. It was a kind of tights apparently that if you put it on, you would just start burning fat. I was wearing the tights like my life depended on it. I would wear it all the time in under my school uniform. In everything that I did, wherever I went, I would just wear these tights underneath, thinking that was gonna be the solution, that was gonna make me lose the weight. It was so exhausting. And then imagine to finally realize, no, you don't need to do any of this. You just need to cut down on what you're already eating and move a little bit more, Jermaine. And then bam, everything happened. I started losing weight. Sometimes I just wish that I knew these things much earlier. And also, like, when you're focusing on doing that, you're focusing on moving more and focusing on eating less and eating better food. I felt like my mind started to forget about, oh, but I'm insecure, oh, but this don't fit and that don't fit. My mind started focusing more on what I was doing. And then as I started losing weight, I started becoming more happier as well. And I was happy not just because I was losing weight, but I was doing something good for myself. I started to feel good about what I was doing. And then I started to get a lot of support from people around me, like my family and all. And I just wish sometimes that I knew these things way earlier rather than in my mid-20s. I remember after losing like my first 20 kg, around 20 kg, I want to say, or 25 kg, something like that. My sister treated me where she took me to Bali. No, she took me to Thailand, and on like a holiday we went to Phuket, and I was so confident. I was still big, but I was so confident. I wore short shorts. I wore, like, my thighs were still big. I mean, they were not as big as they were before, but they were still big. I would mingle with people. I was doing this and doing that. I was so confident. I wasn't shy wearing my bathing suit. I was I was so much more comfortable. It's so crazy, like, how weight loss, even though your body may not be there yet, but you are there first mentally. When you start losing weight, you are there and you're at a healthier place mentally before you are even physically. Because my body changed, but not that much. I was still fat. Like, if someone who didn't know me before would still say, hey, she's a fat girl. But I didn't feel like the fat girl anymore. I felt like Jermaine, who is doing something good for herself. Jermaine, who's into fitness and eating right now. I'm not fat Jermaine, funny Jermaine anymore. This is kind of a funny one, but I avoided sitting on plastic chairs. Let me know if anyone out there can relate to this. But there were times when I would sit on some plastic chairs, and because I'm so heavy, the chair would like spread. And just say this is the legs. When I sit down, the legs would go. Yeah. That has happened to me before. So whenever there's plastic chairs, I would avoid sitting and I would just pretend as if, no, I'm more of a standing person. Even though my legs were killing me and I really wanted to sit. And if I did sit, I wouldn't put my whole weight on it. I would kind of like press my leg down and share the weight between my legs and the chair. So if you guys didn't know, I used to sing for a living for a period of time. I would sing at wedding events or bars at nights or wherever that they would pay me to sing, I would sing. But as a performer, I was always very careful not to move too much because I was so worried that my body, like everything would just start shaking and jiggling and everybody can see it. So I would always like make sure that my movements were very slow. No matter how upbeat the song was that I was singing, I would just make sure my movements were like, you know, just really slow. And then when I get home behind closed doors, I would be dancing my butt off. But I would never do that in public or do it on stage. Now, nothing's holding me back. When I would go to restaurants, I would always make other people place my food orders for me because I was too embarrassed to let the waiter know what I eat as one person eating for 5. I'd always ask my sister or my mom to please place my order. Tell the guy that I want fried Maggie, double, fried chicken or whatever. Like I would yeah. And then I would always make my sister help me to go buy my snacks. my chocolates or whatever that I wanted, I would always send her to go buy it for me. And I would always tell her, if you buy it for me, I will also buy it for you. Or if you buy it for me, I will do this for you or do that for you. But I just never wanted to be seen buying snacks or buying anything that was fattening, because I was so ashamed of myself. So yeah, those were the things that I would never be caught doing back when I weighed 270 pounds. I'm not proud of it, because the same way I don't feel people should be proud of shaking their visceral fat on camera, I also don't feel people should be this insecure that you cannot live at all. And that's why I also feel like the importance of letting people know the healthy way to lose weight, because you are allowed to want to be better. You are allowed to not feel happy with the way you look and want to improve yourself, but not like in a toxic way, you know what I mean? By the way, I also need to just pipe in here and say, for some reason, in my previous video, I talked about how I kind of wish my skin was lighter. People thought that I hate my skin color or something for some reason. Guys, I don't hate my skin color. What I'm just saying is, you know how like sometimes people are like, I wish like my nose was this way or my mouth was that way or whatever. Like having a lighter skin was just one of those things. But that doesn't mean that I hate my skin color. I love the color of my skin. I embrace it. I'm just saying that if I had a preference, that would be my preference. But that doesn't mean that I want to change my skin color or want to bleach myself. No, I embrace this. This is who I am and I love it. But thanks guys for showing me love. I don't hate my skin color. Please don't get me wrong. If I implied that I hate the color of my skin, I don't hate the color of my skin. I just have a preference. I think that's a difference. I think if I hated the color of my skin, I would be actively trying to do something about it. It's not impossible for people to go and change their skin color. I would do something about it if I hated it. I don't hate it. I just have a preference. But I embrace the color that I have. I have a preference because of things like finding foundation here in Malaysia. I have a preference because sometimes there's certain clothes color that don't fit my skin color, things like that. Anyway, that's it for this video, guys. Let me know what you think. Could you relate to any of this? Did you ever go through this, or do you know someone who's been through this? Let me know in the comments below. I want to hear what you have to say. And also thank you for all the well wishes. Feeling so much healthier now. I was down with like sore throat and flu, and it was just really bad. I think it's like something going around, but I'm better now and I'm doing good. So thanks guys for all the support and all the love. And I say that I appreciate you guys and I love you. I actually mean it. Firstly, I never thought people would care to hear the things that I have to say, and to have a bunch of people on the internet who is actually interested and wants to hear the things that I have to say, it means a lot to me. You have no idea. So I really, really do appreciate and love you guys, and I say it in every single video because I really need you to know it in every single video. Anyway, that's it for this video, guys. I hope you liked it. If you liked this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell because I upload new videos at least once a week. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram and on TikTok. The links are in the description box below, and I'll see you guys in my next video.